Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're all doing very well. This evening I'm going to be doing a review of my last film experience at the Latin Film Festival. As you guys know, I've done my top five being the least favourite and number one being the favourite. So it's come to the time where I'm doing my number one review and my last review for this series. So the other four films I have reviewed, if you want to check them out, please do so. And my film that I am rating as number one is a comedy from Colombia. This is in the Spanish language with English subtitles, released in the year 2012, directed by Andres Burgos, and this movie is called Sofia and the Stubborn. So Sofia and the Stubborn opens up in a very rural area in Colombia. You've got Sofia and her husband. Sorry. Now her husband is very lazy, and Sofia really wants to go on a trip because she's been caught in this rural lifestyle and she wants to see the outside world. But her stubborn husband just won't do anything. Hence the title, Sofia and the Stubborn. So she's always dreaming about going on this big trip, and then she decides, what the hell, I'm going to go by myself. If he doesn't want to come with me, I'm just going to go. And so she accompanies her friend in making preparations for this because they're going to do it by themselves without the stubborn husband knowing. But there's an incident that involves her friend that forces her to come to terms with the fact that if she wants to travel, she's going to have to do it on her own. But she's very scared about this because she's never traveled outside this rural area, and therefore it's going to test her ability. So that's basically what the movie is. It follows her adventure into the world that she didn't know before, and it's basically just discovering yourself and discovering the beauty that surrounds us. So that's basically the synopsis. If you want to know more, please go out there and have a look at this film for yourself. Now my thoughts on this Colombian comedy. This is rated number one for a very good reason. I actually thought this was a really, really heartwarming comedy. Now, on the first hand, it is very funny. It mixes a little bit of slapstick comedy with a little bit of witty humour. So there's a little bit in it for everybody. If you don't mind reading subtitles, it doesn't matter what kind of humour you're into. It seems to have a little bit of humour from each sort of category. Slapstick, as I said, witty humour, and there's just all this stuff that makes it just a really genuine experience. I thought it was a very clean sort of film. There is no dirty themes to it. I thought that the acting was very, very good. The script is excellent. I thought it was very well written. Sofia is a really likable character, and although her husband is really stubborn, doesn't want to go anywhere, you still feel sorry for him because you feel that there are people like this in this world who are very comfortable in what they're doing right now. They get into this routine and they don't like leaving they don't like going out of their comfort zone. They like basically existing, not living. And that's what the movie is. Sofia starts off by existing in her routine, but then she realizes that she wants to start living her life. So it's very heartwarming. It's a very inspirational type of film because you see that she is breaking the boundaries. And that's what everyone has to do, basically. If you're stuck in a rut, you're stuck in a routine, it's very hard to break that cycle. And when Sofia tries to do that, you want her to succeed. And that's why I think the film works so well, because on one hand you've got a really good comedy, on the other hand you've just got a very heartwarming story about triumph of the human spirit, basically just doing something that you'd never thought you could and realizing your dreams. So it's a very well shot film. It captures a very rural side of Colombia, very limited settings, which is very good. It doesn't try to get too complicated, and very limited characters as well, which I also thought really helped the film because it wasn't trying to do something ambitious. And if you don't have many characters, you can focus more attention on them. And that's what the film does, and each and every character is very three-dimensional. I love the character of Sophia. I love the character of the husband. Really funny when the husband has to try and do things himself. And what's so funny about it is that it's realistic. There are, like my dad, for example, without my mum around, he's a little bit lost. And that's why I think everyone can connect to this story, in that you're either got a wife or you yourself might be a husband who can identify with this guy. As I said, there are bad qualities to this man, the stubborn man, but there are very likable qualities. They're not qualities that you'd hate him for. There are very realistic qualities that a lot of people could relate to, and I just thought that although it is a comedy, it's a human drama. It's a movie that's very realistic and it never leaves the realms of possibility. So the relatable quality makes the characters really likable. I thought the pacing of the film was excellent. It had me laughing. It had me thinking a lot. And I thought each character that comes into it at a later date, I thought was really good as well. So in the end, what you get is a really pleasant experience. I really liked Sophia and the Stubborn. It's a film that I had heard nothing about, which is a great shame because a lot of people are going to overlook this film. But for me, as far as comedies go, I thought it ticked all the boxes. And as far as a human drama is concerned as well, I thought it was very good. So the character is very colourful. contributed by very good acting. I hadn't heard any of these actors before, but they do a great job, and it just shows that Colombia have a lot to offer when it comes to foreign cinema. So overall, for Sofia and the Stubborn, I'm going to give it 4.5 stars, and that was my #1 film in the Latin Film Festival, or the 10th Latin Film Festival in Canberra. So, hope you enjoyed this little series. Next year, if I go to it again, I might do it something similar. But until then, hopefully you enjoyed this series and keep watching movies.